Hello, I'm delighted to be joined by Mark Gatrell. He's the Head of Innovation and Quality at SIKA. Mark, welcome.
Hi, Peter.
Hello. Let's start as we always start, a little bit of a background. Can you, for the audience, introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Mark Cottrell. I'm Head of Innovation and Quality for SIKA in the UK. So that essentially covers all of the research and development activities right across the country and responsibility for all product quality in the UK marketplace.
Fantastic. How long have you been with SIKA?
I'm actually approaching 27 years, so yeah, quite some time, and obviously worked with the BBA throughout most of that period.
Yeah, fantastic. If we were on the radio, I'd have a round of applause button for that, I
Thank you.
think. But unfortunately, I'm not that advanced. Okay, yeah, 27 years. So you must know a little bit about the organization itself. Can you give us a brief background into who Seeker are?
Sure, yeah. I mean, SIKA are a large multinational supplier of construction and industrial products. So we've got a very sort of diverse portfolio of products that broadly spans coating systems, adhesives, concrete additives, cementitious mortars, and sheet membranes. And yeah, we supply them into many different parts of the construction market, from roofing, flooring, into sort of waterproofing industries, and yeah, refurbishment, sealing and bonding, broad range of different sort of customer segments that we serve.
Absolutely. So massive broad range and massive broad range of products. Let's get a bit more specific. In terms of agreement certification, what products do you have in the range that have that?
I mean, to be honest, Peter, it's probably a question that's would fill most of this broadcast. We've got a very significant collection of sort of agreement certificates and I suppose broader assessment documents as well that really kind of span the whole range of Seekers activities. So yeah, I wouldn't like to hazard a guess, but I'm probably thinking we're probably around about 40 different agreement certificates and assessment documents across the UK business.
Wow, that's fantastic. So I think that leads very nicely on to the next question: is why is it important to have these agreement certificates for the products that you've got them for?
Yeah, I mean, I'll maybe start off at a personal level in terms of why it's important to me first.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
I mean, I'm kind of conscious, we operate across ranges of different technologies and a broad section of the market as I outlined. But for me, we have a lot of sort of, and we've always worked very closely with the BBA. We have a lot of the sort of assessment criteria for BBA agreement certification is built into our kind of product development activities. So everything we create in the UK is often created with certification as well as broader performance and market requirements. Is often created with that certification in mind, and that's not just covering the new products; it's also covering changes that we make to our products or alternative ingredients that we might validate as well in order to sort of safeguard our supply continuity. So at a personal level, we work very closely with the BBA, and it gives me, I think, a sort of a route to kind of validate the work that's being done internally with an external partner. I think certainly from the kind of customer's perspective, and the construction industry's perspective, I think for me the BBA are a sort of a long-standing, well-respected authority, if you will, in the sort of the approval of products. So I think it's good for consumers to kind of have that independent third party that's sort of working with manufacturers, validating the products that they place on the market, and I guess really ensuring or helping us to ensure that the latest changes in a broad range of sort of building and construction codes are all being sort of accounted for within the products and systems that are present on the marketplace. And I think that perhaps gives double level of confidence that the kind of the supplier, the organization responsible for the supply, is working closely with an organization also, with that kind of strengths in the in the certification sector to really give confidence in construction products.
Okay, so as you alluded to before, there's a lot of products in the Seeker range that hold a BBA agreement certificate. We'd love to name them all, but unfortunately, with the greatest respect, I think people would be switching off if we did that. So let's move on to those products that do have BBA agreement certificate, what leads to that requirement for those particular products to go through that agreement process?
Yeah, I think for obviously when products are being sort of selected for use, that often consumers are are looking at the broad range of performance requirements for a given application. And I think if we take for instance our roofing business and the agreement certificates that we have in place there, I think that the certificate provides a very sort of strong sort of summary that the products are kind of compliant with a broad range of building codes in the various different regions in the UK as well. And I think also bring together a lot of sort of the broader collection of tests that are being done in the field of things like fire performance and things like that, to ensure that you kind of almost have that sort of safeguard in place that what the manufacturer or the supplier is saying about the product is kind of backed up by a validated test program and a sort of an independent confirmation that either the tests themselves or the tests that have been conducted by other parties are all kind of meeting the required standards and have been undertaken by reputable UCAS approved test houses.
And I think you've alluded to part of the answer to this next question, but I'm interested to dig a little deeper. We've focused on the agreement certificate specifically there, but why choose the BBA in general?
I mean, I think first of all that the BBA have got as I said, a long-standing, well-respected position within UK construction industry. I think from my perspective, I'm kind of conscious. We talked about SIKA being a large, diverse, and complex business, and I think the BBA certainly offers us that broad range of expertise across our many different sort of technologies and market segments. And so a very kind of large collection of sort of experts in their own fields, for us to work with. So I think we've always tended to see the BBA as a strong partner in that in that certification approach. And as I said, that's a relationship that goes back well beyond sort of 30 years now, and for me personally. And so I think that's perhaps best conveys our, I suppose, the main reasons.
So working with these experts in their own field, and working with the BBA, I know there's professors and there's doctors and there's a lot of knowledgeable people within the BBA. What's the experience been like over that long-term period of working with the BBA?
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I think I certainly, as I've seen just like I've seen our company evolve, I've seen the BBA evolve, and I think we see, how that's changed over the years, and I think we kind of see, a very strong relationship between the two businesses at the moment. I think the BBA have been really good in responding to a lot of the sort of challenges in the last couple of years as well. With the many market challenges that we're dealing with around sort of things like material supplies that are affecting wholesale large amounts of industries, and we need to kind of respond as a business to these challenges, and we need to be working with an organisation like the BBA who are able to kind of understand the challenges that manufacturers and suppliers and the construction industry is being placed under, and to kind of respond with us to that, to ensure that what we achieve eventually in terms of the buildings that we construct are as to as high a quality as is possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that brings us full circle, Mark. Final question, final thoughts, really. What does achieving a BBA agreement certificate mean for yourself, first and foremost, and then the organisation from a wider perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly from a research and development perspective, it's usually an important marker in us satisfying ourselves that we have a product that is as good as we think it is. And as I said, we do often mirror those test procedures to ensure that the products we develop in the UK and more broadly elsewhere in SIKA are kind of developed with that sort of compliance in mind. And I think it's an important part of our sort of the processes we have in place that manage innovation, whether it's the creation of new products or the adaptation of our existing products. I think it's an important milestone, and it allows us to sort of independently confirm that that the products are as good as we believe they are, and fully comply with as I said, various requirements of the building codes.
Mark, thank you so much for joining me today. Absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Peter.